Hello, everyone. How you all doing? What's up, Lustful Scholar? Hey, Losh. How's it going? What's up, Art Katie? You are early. Hey, Wing Chun. How's it going? Bigfoot. Hello to you. How are you doing today? Wait, my camera down? No! Already a technical difficulty. Wait, it's back. What's up, Malik? How are you doing? Hey, sunny side up. Good afternoon to you. All right. Let's do some Wordle. Hold on. Live screen. Hey, what's up, Casey? How's it going? Okay. Hey, Nikki. How's it going? All right, let's crank out this Wordle. Let's do it. Hey, what's up, Rude Noise? Oh, what is this? State. Ah, damn it. Stave. Like stave? Stale. Oh, there's so many. Stale. Okay, there's stale, there's L. Steak. There's K. Stage. Oh my god, there's so many. Okay. We got G, K, L. What's the word that has G, K, and L? Glock. That is a word. What do you mean? No, that's so perfect. Why? Glick. Gluck. Glack. Glick. No. Um. K and L. Lake. Ooh. Glum. Glick. Ah. K and L. Kale. Kelleg. Kale. Wait, can I do 4 letters? No, I can't. Kales. Okay. Steak. Cool. What's up, Psyduck? How's it going? All right. Let's do connections. All right, we got slice, sneak, tire, support, bagel, slip, loaf, whiff, blessing, wade, lifesaver, consent, wreath, hook, approval, shank. Hook, whiff, blessing, consent. Blessing, consent, approval, and support. Like giving consent, I think. That should be right. All right. Okay. Bagel, loaf. Slice. Sneak. A shank. A slice. A loaf. A whiff. A sneak. A bagel. No, that doesn't make any sense. All right. We got lifesaver is a candy. I don't see any other candies though. All right. A whiff. Should slice and loaf be similar? A slice, like a slice of bread, a loaf of bread. Bagel is a bread, kind of. But I don't see anything else. A lifesaver. Candy? An O? A circle? Circle. A tire is a circle. Oh, a bagel is a circle. A wreath is a circle. Oh, okay. A torus shape. Okay. Same thing. Circle, whatever. All right. Slice, wade, slip, sneak, shank, shank, sneak. What? A slice, a loaf. I don't know. A loaf. It's not bread. A hook. You can sneak into things. You can kind of slip into things. Slip into a house. Do you wade into a house? Shank. Take a whiff. Whiff is smell, right? Hook. Loaf. Ah! Slice. I'm thinking bread. That can't be right. There's no other bread. Oh, wait. A slice of meat. Shank. A loaf of meat? No one says that, right? A hook of meat. You can hook a piece of meat. What is it? Sneak. I don't know. Okay, sneaking into something, slipping into something. You catch a whiff of something. Shank. I'm feeling shank and hook. Wait, a slice, a shank. A loaf of meat? A meatloaf? Oh, a meatloaf. Oh, meatloaf. But what else is meat? A hook of meat. A sneak, a slip. A whiff of meat. A wade. That doesn't make any sense. A slip. A whiff. A hook? I don't know. One away. Okay. Hook must not be right. It must be something else. One of these. A wade. A slip. A slip of meat? A whiff? A slip. And then what is this? Wade, hook, whiff, sneak. Hook, wade. Wade. Whiff? I'm just gonna try it. Whatever. Oh, okay. It's one of these then. Ha! Slice, loaf, hook. This is one away. Loaf. Shank. I don't know. Slip. Ha! One away. Sneak. Oh, God. What is it? Bad golf shots. A hook. A shank. Okay. Well, I was never going to guess that. Footwear minus ER sound. Oh! Loafers. Slippers. Sneakers. Waiters. Okay, guys. What's a waiter? Okay. I was always going to fail this one. This is impossible. What's a waiter? A waiter. Oh, these are waiters. Oh. Okay. That's some bullshit, guys. All right. Waiter. Overall. Boot. All. Summary. Everything? Anything? World. Thing. Things. Stream. Bean. Wait, why? Everything. Nature. All things. Cover. Universe. World. Globe. Everything. Anything. Nothing. Item. What? So good. Garbage. Duck. Yeah. Object. What? Round. Group. Person. Stash. Couple. Relationship. Item. Item. Stuff. Thing. Deal. Whoa! Deal. Sale. You got a treaty? Got a contract? Sign. Trade. Product. Deal. Purchase. Sell. Sale. Article. Negotiate. Deal. Bargain. We got haggle. Okay. Something around there. Deal. Transaction. I like that. Discount. We got a deal. We got a purchase. We got a great deal. Steal. Deal. Value. Open. Loan. Clearance. Oh. Nope. Cheap. Expensive. Deal. Deal is so close. Hut. New. Inherit. Novel. Barter. Dealer? No. It's a deal. Transaction. A negotiation. Purchase. Contract. What else? Compromise. Okay. Argument. Debate. Diplomacy. Diplomacy. Pact. Agreement. Okay. Around there. Agreement, a deal, an understanding. Convention. A compromise. Deal. Condition. Agreement we got. Compact? Okay. A deal. A promise. Nope. An agreement. What else? Receipt? Transaction we tried. A compromise. Auction? Okay. Nope. Treaty we tried. A pact. Agreement. Compromise, a deal, a trade. I think we got that. Exchange. Oh, I thought that was such a good word. Security. Negotiate. Negotiate. Nope. Well, investment. Invest. Marriage. Humor. Deal. Settlement. Ceasefire? Oh, you're thinking war? A deal, an agreement. Conclusion? Win. A loss. Settle. Deals. Dealing. Dazzling. Dealing. Ah, what is it? You love this game, do you? We got deal, we got compromise, we got agreement. What else is there? Tact. Tactic. Got a strategy. Diplomat. Renege. Oh, we're so close. Deal. Deal. Resolution. I like that. Resolve. Oops. Arrangement. Arrangement and understanding. We got a summarize? Nah. Summary? Ah, what is it? Judgment. Verdict. Negotiation, we tried that. I think we did, didn't we? We better, okay, better have. A deal, guys. A deal. A compromise. Condense? No, I don't think so. An accord? A Honda Accord. We got treaty. Oh my god. What is it? Deal. Civic. Transaction, agreement, agree. Fight. Battle. Exchange, we tried. A bargain, a compact. Arrangement. Oh god. And do we have to bust out the thesaurus? Covenant. Wow, good word. Cease. Nope. We have come to an agreement. We have come to a compromise. We have come to a deal. Alliance? Deadlock. Coalition. No. You wonder if Honda is better than Toyota? They're probably around the same, right? I don't know why I lean towards Toyota. Probably because I have a Toyota. Bundle. Bundle! Bond. Bundle? Concession. A bundle. A group. A bundle deal. A sale. Then we tried sale. Package. Ah! Oh my god. Package? Really? Good job, Lush. Like a package deal? Oh, I get it. What about a compromise? How's that a package? Let's see the nearest words. A plan, a bundle, package, bundle, deal, proposal. Oh. Psh. Whatever. Alright, good job, all. Yours in 06. I have a Toyota Prius 2011. Still working fine. Still going great. Such good cars. It's gonna last me another 10 years, probably. How long did this take? Did anyone time it? I felt like it took too long. You missed your Corolla? My first car was a Corolla. I think it was a 94, 95 Corolla. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of beat up. But you know what? It worked. They're such good cars. All right. Whew. That was a lot. Whoa! Your Corolla lasted 300k miles. That is crazy. My Prius right now is like 150k. Yeah, and it's still going strong. So, wait, do you all have Corollas? Okay. Cool. Corollas are popular with the chat. Yeah, I hope mine lasts until 300k. I feel like that's all you can ask for, I think. All right. I have this. It's chips. Looks like plums. Yeah, it looks good. I think it's gonna be good. Ooh, smells good. Okay, looks like, looks like a Lay's chip. Let's see what it tastes like. Mmm. A little sour. A little sweet. and a bit salty. Mostly sour. Mm. Mostly sour and a little sweet. Not bad. Are they strawberry flavor? No, it's plums. Yeah. I like them. Nom, 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 nom. Nom, 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 nom. All right. I like that. I'm gonna give that that's a solid 8.5 out of 10. I think that's really good. Yeah, like pickled plums. All right. Check this out. There's a little picture of cheese on it. So I'm thinking it's kind of cheesy. Like a mini cheesy dorayaki. All right. Oh no. Oh no. All right. Ooh, look. Yeah. Yeah, how's that? Let me see. Um, yeah, it is a bit cheesy, but like it's also sweet. Has like the cheese filling on the inside a little bit. Yeah, but the rest of it is sweet. I'm not sure it works. Okay. Hmm. All right. Maybe a 4 out of 10. Maybe a 4 out of 10. Sweet cheese. She's a little bit sweet. I think mostly the cake is sweet. Yeah. That's a no for me. The chips are hella good. What's up, Art Katie? All right. Toyota is going to introduce the Trueno to the US market. What is the Trueno? Wait, let me look it up. Toyota Trueno. What? Anime car. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, is that what you're looking for? Can we see what you're looking? Oh, sorry. Yeah, this car? Yeah, you want to ride that rude noise? Not my style. Think I'm gonna pass on this. All right. All right. You ready? I think we're gonna do something different today, okay? Maybe you guys will like it, maybe you won't. But first, all right. You ready? What happened last week? So last time, Guojing and Hongrong, they're about to enjoy a nice chicken when this mysterious hungry beggar comes asking for some of their food. Okay. Now Hongrong, being the smart girl that she is, she notices that he's missing one finger. Right, and she realizes that he's the legendary divine beggar Hong Qigong, okay, who famously has 9 fingers. So the divine beggar is one of the 5 strongest fighters in the world. Okay, I guess 4 now because one of them died. She lets him eat the food. Okay, and he turns out to be actually a pretty funny and charismatic dude. Okay, but she uses his love of food to entice him into teaching Guojing martial arts. Okay, and he's a smart guy. He knows this. Okay, but then he does it anyways because he can't resist the food. Over time, he teaches Guojing one move from his famous 18 dragon mastering palms. Okay, now Guojing is a kind of a slow learner, but he's a hard worker, and eventually he gets pretty good at it. Right. And over time, Hong Qigong, he also grows fond of the two. He also teaches Huang Rong a move, okay, though not a move from his 18 dragon mastering palms. One day, Liang Wang comes, and Guojing fights him for a while, but Guojing just keeps using the same move. Okay, at first it's pretty effective, but since he just keeps using the same move that was taught to him, Liang Wang finds ways around it. But when Liang Wang finds out that Hong Qigong is in the house nearby, he panics and he kneels immediately. And using Hong Qigong's reputation, the couple make him promise not to bother them. He agrees and he runs away. Hong Qigong, he stays with them for a while. Okay, he's eating Hong Rong's cooking for longer than he expected. Now at first he just intended to teach Guojing like 2 or 3 moves, then leave. But then he ends up teaching him 15 moves. Okay, from his 18 dragon mastering palms. Um, Hong Qigong, the divine beggar, he decides to go, but then Hong Rong convinces him to stay by mentioning the name of Ouyang Ke, who's the nephew of Ouyang Feng. Now, Ouyang Feng is one of the 5 strongest fighters. Okay, so Hong Qigong, he decides to stay for like 15 more days to teach Guojing the rest of the moves, so he can defend against Ouyang Feng if needed. I think, yeah, and that's where we left off. How's that? What's up, Neko-chan? How's it going? Okay. So, I was playing around a little bit, okay, the other day. And um I put some text from the Legend of the Condor Heroes, some Chinese text into Chat GPT. I told it to translate it. Okay? And guess what? The translation is pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. So I don't know. Maybe we should just do that instead of relying on Mojo Jojo over here. It's questionable. Some questionable translations. Do, 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 do. Now I haven't done this yet, so let's try it. All right, hold on. Don't think we have. We need this. Okay, hold on. You'll miss the nonsense sentences. Well, we'll see. I think it's pretty good. So let me see if you guys think it's good, okay? I'm gonna do a little excerpt. All right, we'll do it live. Wait, how do I do this? Let's have it do one excerpt and then see how good it is. Having some technical difficulties. Okay. So I'm gonna say, let's see. Let's do it live. I'm gonna say, translate this excerpt from Wuxia novel Legend of the Condor Heroes. What else should we say? How would we say? No, that's it. Let's do it. Yeah, why not? Oh, fuck. All right, copy, paste. What? I'm unable to copy. Wait, why? Hmm. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Wait, please translate this and use unique vocabulary when applicable. Wait, why, Casey? Huh. I'm trying to copy, but it won't let me. What the fuck? Oh, damn it. I was able to do this on my phone. Okay, check it out. Okay, here's the text. Then I can't do a control C. Does any of this mean copy? Maybe we'll just settle for the French. I can't do control C. Can I put this in reader mode? Chrome can auto-translate, but I don't think it's as good as... Oh. Take notes, extract. Error correction. Share. I can't copy? Extract. No. Stop. Oh no. Alright. Well, we are not doing it live. Can't do it. Can't do it. Alright, never mind. Forget it. We're gonna stay with Mojo Jojo for the time being. Alright. Chapter 12, Part 2. Alright, so here is Hong Qigong. He's deciding to stay for 15 days. Look who came crawling back. Mojo Jojo. I'm sorry, Mojo Jojo. I was about to leave you. But I can't yet. Please forgive me. Alright. Huang Rong was delighted. She was decided. Ugh, Mojo, Jojo, please. She decided to give the measure of all sound talent. Thus, not only she never repeated the same dish, but she proposed even infinite variations in the accompaniment in noodles and rice, in different takings to every meals. Fried donuts to the frying pan, steamed stuffed dough boulettes, ravioli to the vapor, flat noodles in broth, Cantonese rice, soft rice, rice cake slimy, rice, tofu, etc. Qigong, for his part, himself took pains to teach the two young people the art to adapt itself to all the fight positions, to react and to better defend themselves. Only, he never taught the 3 blows lacking in the 18 dragon mastering palms. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is he hasn't taught the rest of the 18 dragon mastering palms. Guojing deepened, of course, his mastery of the 15 blows, but he increased equally in the power of all the martial arts that he had learned with the Jiangnan Odd Six. Qigong had, before the age of 35, practiced a very diversified kung fu, learning innumerable fist techniques and of palm, among which ones he deliberately chose bizarre types for Huang Rong. But it was just as a joke. These techniques were beautiful to look at, but their real effectiveness in battle were far inferior to the 15 palms, simple and direct. Huang Rong herself looked only to have fun, without really investing herself in this apprenticeship. Yes. You guys got that? As dawn arose the next day, Guojing was already in the forest, practicing the first move of the 18 dragon subduing palms. The proud dragon shows remorse. He began to sweat heavily after 20 minutes of drilling, but felt encouraged by his progress. Then he heard voices approaching him. Master, we walked over 30 miles this time, right? One voice said. Yes, your endurance has improved slightly, the other voice said. The spoken dialects sounded familiar to Guojing. Soon 4 people came into view, led by a young man with white hair. He was none other than Guojing's greatest foe, Liangzi Wang, the immortal ginseng fairy. Okay, he's back. Silently cursing, Guojing turned to run away, but Liangzi Wang already recognized him. Wait a minute. Wait. We're already got past this. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, guys. I screwed up. Wait. Did we? I think we already got past that. I'll get up and say goodbye. Da, 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 da. So I guess they ran. No, they ran into him again. No, we already do. I think we already read this. Yeah. Wouldn't be the first time the chapter had pieces out of place. Is that why? Yeah, we already got past this fight with Liang Wang. Da 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 da, Hong Rao. Took the bamboo stick and walked out of the hut. Na, 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 na. Yeah, we did read this. Hold on, let me get past the fight. Yeah, she's asking, how do you violate a virgin? We got past that. Did we finish this? She gonna laugh, just care. Da, da. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, here it is. But if you repeat one dish, I will immediately leave you. There you go. Yeah, I think he duplicated that part. That's kind of weird. All right, I think this is the real start of today's chapter. Huh. Are you ready? After getting her heart's desire, Hongrong proceeded to make a number of different dishes with skillful variations, including pot stickers, various dumplings, fried rice, Lunar New Year cakes, steamed rolls, and rice noodles. Hey, Mojo Jojo! Got his mojo back, look. The translation is much better. Yeah, he was scared I was going to leave him. He's like, nah, please, don't leave. I'll be better. I'll be better, please. Hong Qigong taught them the essence of fighting by reacting to the enemy and changing the defense of the body. He did not teach the last 3 moves of the 18 dragon subduing palms. Nevertheless, Guojing's understanding of the first 15 palms solidified. Solidified? How did Mojo Jojo know that? That's not the Mojo Jojo that I know. Solidified under Hong Qigong's continued tutelage, as did the skills he learned from the 6 freaks of Jiangnan. His improvement was not negligible. In over 35 years of training in the martial arts, Hong Qigong had learned a lot of diverse techniques. He passed on some of these strange fist techniques to Hongrong. Although the skills possessed many strange variations, the techniques were inferior to the simple power of the first 15 palms of the 18 dragon subduing palms. Furthermore, Hongrong only learned them to amuse herself. You wonder if the last chapter was Mojo Jojo's rough draft, and that's why it was duplicated? Maybe? I don't know. Guojing was practicing his palms one evening when Hongrong climbed a tree to gather bamboo shoots and plums for an unconventional dish called the 3 Friends of Winter, which tastes of 3 distinct flavors. Hong Qigong couldn't stop himself from drooling. He then suddenly bent into a thicket of grass and fished out a 2-foot-long blue snake. Snake! Hongrong shouted. With his left hand, Hong Qigong lightly pushed Hongrong on her shoulder, forcing her a few feet away. The thick patch of grass rustled again, revealing more snakes. Hong Qigong struck each snake with a doggy beating stick. The doggy? Oh, come on. It's the dog beating stick. On the center of its head. The blow immediately killed them. Hongrong shouted as her face colored. The 2 snakes didn't flee from Hong Qigong. They climbed the tree and bit Hongrong. Hong Qigong knew the blue snakes, although small, possessed a highly venomous poison without compare. He immediately wanted to cure Hongrong, but suddenly a large horde of blue snakes materialized. He grabbed Hongrong by her waistband and took Guojing's hand before running back into the inn. There he knelt to examine Hongrong and discovered her complexion to be normal. How? He said. Doggy beating stick is objectively better. Mojo Jojo must have recovered from his flu. Yeah. We have the old Mojo Jojo back. It's not a problem, Hongrong laughed. Fear struck Guojing when he saw the 2 snakes bite Hongrong. He reached down to pull them off her body. Hong Qigong told Guojing to be careful. As Guojing prepared himself to remove the snakes, he noticed blood dripping from their heads. They were already dead. Hong Qigong understood. Ah, your father gave you his soft hedgehog armor. When the snakes bit Hongrong, they were immediately killed by the spikes on her armor, which pierced their heads. Guojing went to pull the other snake off Hongrong when more snakes emerged from the forest. Hong Qigong placed a yellow herb in his mouth and chewed. By this time, over 1,000 snakes had emerged from the forest. Many more were out of the sight of the heroes. Master Hong, let's get out of here, Guojing said. Hong Qigong didn't answer. Instead, he unstopped his gourd and took a large swig from it. He mixed the yellow herb with the wine, which he spit from left to right, creating an arc in front of the tree. When one blue snake attempted to cross the medicated wine, it immediately keeled over. None of the other blue snakes dared to cross the wine afterwards. Indeed, the ones in the front attempted to retreat, but more snakes were emerging from the forest. Both groups crashed into one another, causing a great deal of chaos. Hongrong clapped her hands and shouted in pleasure. The forest suddenly emitted a strange noise before three men dressed in white emerged from it. They used a pole to shepherd the snakes as if they were oxen. Hongrong found all this amusing, but then she suddenly felt like vomiting. Hong Qigong struck a snake with his dog-beating stick. Then he took the snake and used 2 fingers to extract its gallbladder. Quickly, swallow this, he said to Hongrong. Don't bite or chew them, or you will feel pain. After swallowing the gallbladders, Hongrong's chest immediately felt at ease. Brother Jing, do you feel dizzy? Hongrong said. Guojing shook his head. Because he drank the blood of the giant snake, Guojing had become impervious to over 100 poisons. He's like Duan Yu. The snakes also felt fear whenever they smelled the scent of the blood on Guojing. When they emerged from the forest, they were really just after Hong Qigong and Hongrong. Master Hong, these snakes were raised by people, Hongrong said. Hong Qigong nodded and angrily glared at the 3 men in white. The 3 men were also angry after they saw Hong Qigong feed the gallbladder to Hongrong. They reorganized the snake line. You 3 bastards, one of them shouted. Are you tired of living? No, you must be the 3 bastards who are tired of living, Hongrong shouted back. Hong Qigong clapped Hongrong on the shoulders in approval. The 3 men became even angrier. The sallow-cheeked, middle-aged man, standing in the middle, thrust a long pole at Hongrong with a surprising amount of force. Hong Qigong pressed the dog-beating stick against the pole, which immediately stopped. Startled, the man pulled on the pole with both of his hands. Hong Qigong shook the dog-beating stick and shouted, Be gone! The man stumbled and flipped over. Yeah, remember, Hong Qigong is one of the strongest fighters in the world, okay? Landing right in the middle of all the deadly snakes. He had luckily eaten an herb earlier, so the snakes were unwilling to bite him. Shocked, the other 2 men took a step back. How? They said. Indeed, the other man had fallen so hard that he crushed 10 snakes and felt sore all over. One of his companions, a fair-skinned man, held out the pole to the sallow-cheeked man to support him. They were reluctant to fight again. Who dares to stop our snake with that herb? The sallow-cheeked man said. Laughing, Hong Qigong paid no attention to them. Who are you to send out so many poisonous snakes to injure people? Hongrong replied. The 3 men looked at one another, trying to figure out how to respond, when another man dressed in white appeared at the edge of the forest. He walked through a narrow path between the snakes while fanning himself. Both Guojing and Hongrong recognized him as Ouyang Ke, the master of White Camel Mountain, whose presence amongst their ranks caused the snakes to disperse. Okay, this is Ouyang Ke. The 3 men welcomed their master and told him of Hong Qigong's amazing ability and the situation that had just transpired. Ouyang Ke was surprised. Then he nodded. These 3 brothers were ignorant and affronted seniors, he said. They apologize. He then turned to Hongrong and smiled. The lady is here, he said. I am at your service. Hongrong turned her attention to Hong Qigong. Master Hong, you should take care of this bad egg, she said. Hong Qigong nodded and said to Ouyang Ke, How can you lawlessly herd these snakes through the country in broad daylight? You obviously intend to use these snakes for reckless acts. Who do you intend to use them on? These snakes have traveled a long distance, Ouyang Ke said. They can't feed themselves in the conventional manner. How many people have you hurt? Hong Qigong said. We've herded the snakes through the country, Ouyang Ke said. Not many people have gotten hurt. Hong Qigong glared at the other man. Not wounded many people, he said. Your family name is Ouyang, is it not? That is correct, Ouyang said. The lady must have told you. And what is the venerable one's name? This man's rank is a generation above yours. Wait, this man's rank is a generation above yours, Hong Rong said. If he told you, he'd scare you to death. But Ouyang didn't get angry. He laughed instead and cast a sidelong glance at her. You are the son of Ouyang Feng, aren't you? Hong Qigong said. Ouyang didn't respond, but the three snake herders shouted in anger. Old man, how dare you use the given name of our master? I say what others do not, Hong Qigong said with a smile. The three snake herders continued to yell at Hong Qigong when the beggar, who was on the ground with a dog-beating stick, suddenly appeared in the sky like a large bird. He struck down 3 times so quickly that the 3 men had no time to react. Before their bodies hit the ground, Hong Qigong had already jumped into the air again. Okay, he's good. Good move, Hong Rong said. Why haven't you taught it to me yet, Master Hong? The 3 men could not make a sound because Hong Qigong hit them on the tiny muscle near the chin that connects to the jaw. Startled, Ouyang said to Hong Qigong, Senior knows my uncle. You are Ouyang Feng's nephew, Hong Qigong said. It's been over 20 years since I've seen the old poison. Is he still not dead? Ouyang grew angry, but he knew the level of Hong Qigong's wugong was very high, and since he knew his uncle, he must also be a senior figure of enormous ability. Uncle has often said that he would never die before any of his friends, Ouyang said, so he dares not go to heaven before you. Hong Qigong looked skyward and laughed. Good. You turn my words around and insult me, he said. Now, why did you bring all these treasures? He said, indicating the snakes. I have spent all my life in the West, Ouyang said. This is the first time I have ventured south of the Yellow River. The journey is lonely and solitary, so I thought I'd bring these snakes for some fun. That's a lie, Hong Rong said. How can your journey be lonely and solitary with so many of your wives and concubines to accompany you? Ouyang snapped open his fan and looked over it at Hong Rong. Laughing, he recited, My distant heart held no one within, but today I have met its princess. Hong Rong made a funny face at Ouyang and laughed. I don't need your compliments just as much as I don't need you to miss me, she said. Ouyang was speechless. He was enthralled by the goddess-like Hong Rong and her pleasant expression. Your uncle rules the western region tyrannically, so obviously no one has disciplined you, Hong Qigong shouted. So you've come into central China with the same idea of doing as you pleased. Well, today I will give your uncle face and leave you alone. Get out of my sight right now. Ouyang stopped himself from spitting out hateful words. Knowing himself to be no match for Hong Qigong, he began to retreat obediently, though his heart was full of distaste. Junior wishes Senior a new year, free of any awful misfortune, he said. If you should have any trouble, please come to the White Camel Mountain. Hong Qigong laughed. Ha ha ha, little punk. You dare challenge me to a duel? If I come, it has nothing to do with an agreement. Your uncle isn't afraid of me, and I'm not afraid of your uncle. 20 years before yesterday, in the early morning, a group of us fought one another and found ourselves to be evenly matched. We need not fight ever again. His face abruptly changed. You are still here in front of me instead of being far away, Hong Qigong shouted. Ouyang was startled again. I've only learned 30% of Uncle's Wugong, he thought. This man here doesn't seem to be lying. I'll accept this loss of face for now, and get back at him later. Oyanku didn't respond, and the three men, with their chins still in pain, made no sound. Casting a glance at Hongrong, Oyanku turned and walked back into the forest. The three men then made strange noises to order the snakes, but because of the injury to their chins, their voices at their loudest only came out a weak rasp. Like a wave, the snakes moved back into the forest, leaving a trail of gleaming slime across the ground. Master Hong, do you know where these snakes come from? Hongrong said. Were they raised? Hong Qigong gave no response. He took a swig from his gourd, used his sleeve to wipe off the sweat from his brow, and let out a sigh of relief. How dangerous, he said. How so? Both Guojing and Hongrong asked. Those poisonous snakes were only temporarily blocked by my efforts, Hong Qigong said. They would have soon been able to come over. With so many snakes, they would have been like a flood. How would we be able to stop them? Luckily, those people were inexperienced and didn't realize my ruse since I scared them so much. If the old poison had come, you two kids would have been in a terrible position, he added. We wouldn't stay, we'd run away, Hongrong said. This senior wouldn't be scared, but you two kids would run away, Hong Qigong laughed. But how would you flee if the old poison sent out one of his palms? Is that man's uncle really that powerful? Hongrong said. Hong Qigong laughed. Ha 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 ha. Not powerful. Eastern heretic, Western poison, Northern beggar, Southern emperor, and Central divinity. Your father is the Eastern heretic, and Ouyang Feng is the Western poison. The #1 martial artist, Wang Junren, passed away. The remaining 4 of us, who fought against one another in 8 pairs, were found to be equal. Is your father not fierce? He added. Is my own ability negligible? Hongrong had secretly pondered these points before and was not able to put the pieces together. My father is a good person, so why is he called heretical and evil? I don't like his nickname. Privately, your father probably likes his nickname, Hong Qigong said with a laugh. That man possesses a strange spirit. He follows his own unorthodox way. Is that not perverse? I am convinced that the proper ancestry of all orthodox Wugong is through Chen Jin's teachings. You've learned Chen Jin's Neigong, haven't you? He said to Guojing. Ma Yu taught me at length for over 2 years, Guojing said. Indeed. You didn't learn that in any short span of time, Hong Qigong said. Otherwise, how would you be able to learn my 18 dragon subduing palms if you didn't possess a good Neigong basis? Who is the Southern Emperor? Hongrong said. Southern Emperor is indeed a king, Hong Qigong said. Oh, now we get to find out about the Southern Emperor. Guojing and Hongrong were surprised. Do you mean the Emperor of the Song? Hongrong said. Hong Qigong erupted in laughter. That kid emperor is only strong enough to eat from a golden rice bowl. If there are 2, he wouldn't be able to pick it up. Southern Emperor is not the Song Emperor. No, this Southern Emperor possesses a very powerful kung fu. Between the 3 of us, your father and I were slightly inferior, but the Southern fire overcoming the Western gold. Indeed, the old poison, Ouyang Feng, was able to overcome his star. Guojing and Hongrong wanted Hong Qigong to finish his story, but the beggar was lost in thought and fell into silence. They didn't press him. Hong Qigong looked skyward, his eyebrows creased as if they were pondering some sort of difficult problem. He walked back into the inn alone. Suddenly, Hongrong and Guojing heard the sound of tearing. As Hong Qigong passed through the gate into the inn, a rivet got caught on his sleeve, and tore a large hole into it. Hong Rong gasped in surprise. But Hong Qigong didn't notice. He kept walking as if he were in a daze. I'll mend it for you, Hong Rong said. Hong Rong went to the proprietress of the inn and borrowed a needle and thread. Then she fixed the hole in Hong Qigong's sleeve. Hong Qigong shook himself from his reverie when he saw Hong Rong with the needle in her hand. He abruptly snatched the needle and ran outside the gate. Curious, Guojing and Hong Rong followed, only to see Hong Qigong throw the gleaming needle out. Hong Rong watched the needle arc and pierce a grasshopper. She shouted in delight. This will do, Hong Qigong said, looking satisfied. This style will do nicely. Guojing and Hong Rong waited for Hong Qigong to continue. Ouyang Feng, the old poison, loves to raise poisonous snakes and poisonous insects, Hong Qigong said. Coming up with a way to deal with all those blue snakes is not an easy thing. He paused before continuing. When I saw that younger Ouyang and found him to be no good, and knowing his uncle who opposes everyone, I realized that you two needed some way to disperse the snakes, since I might not always be around to save you. Hong Rong clapped her hands. You would use the needles for the snakes to the ground. Hong Qigong smiled at Hong Rong. This girl is so clever, he said. You say one sentence, and she already knows the next one. You don't want to use the yellow herb anymore, Hong Rong said. You just spit it out with the wine, and the poisonous snakes will refuse to cross it. That will only work for so long, Hong Qigong said. I have to practice this dance, Blossoms Rain from the Sky, which would use this needle. The snakes will approach in the future, and I will throw out these needles, hitting each snake one by one. After I get enough needles, I will go kill all those snakes in about a fortnight. Both Guojing and Hong Rong laughed. I'll go get your needles, Hong Rong said, before immediately heading off in the direction of the town market. Hong Qigong sighed in admiration. Jinger, why don't you have her split her intelligence and cleverness apart and give one half to you? Split apart her intelligence and cleverness? Guojing said. You can't split those apart. Hong Rong returned from the market around the next meal time. She removed from a food basket 2 packages of sewing needles, and, while smiling, said, I searched all over the town to buy these needles, but all the men seem to let the women talk amongst each other until they die. How did you get them? Guojing said. I yelled at them, Hong Rong said. I told them they were all useless. It's impossible to not be able to buy needles in a town. Hong Qigong burst into laughter. You are indeed very clever. Luckily, I have not married, and it will spare me from having the torment of daughters, he said. Come. We need to practice Kung Fu. You 2 kids won't get another opportunity to learn from this old man. Laughing, Hong Rong followed him out. I don't want to learn, Master Hong, Guojing said. Why? Hong Qigong said. Senior has already taught me so much Kung Fu that I haven't practiced it enough, Guojing said. Hong Qigong understood. Guojing refused to be greedy. The beggar had said he would no longer teach any more Wugong to Guojing, but the recent emergency situation made teaching more techniques imperative. Nevertheless, if Guojing allowed Hong Qigong to teach him again, it would appear to be opportunistic. Nodding, Hong Qigong pulled Hong Rong by the hand and said, We practice. Once alone, Guojing went out and practiced the first 15 palms of the 18 dragon subduing palms, thereby increasing his understanding. Hong Rong studied Blossoms Rain from the Sky for 10 days. She learned how to throw 10 needles to simultaneously hit a person's vital areas. but could not master hitting the vital points of multiple targets at once. One day, Hong Qigong and Hong Rong were out practicing with the needles. The beggar threw them all at once. The needles fell to the ground in two groups, each 10 feet across. Satisfied, he looked skyward and fell into contemplation. But his thinking was dull, so he said aloud, "Old poison, why did you train all these snakes?" "With his Wugong already at such a powerful state, he can handle almost anyone near him," Hong Rong said. "So what would the snakes do?" Hong Qigong slapped his head. "Of course," he said. "It's to deal with the Eastern Heretic and the Southern Emperor. Both the beggars and the Chen Jin are numerous in manpower, and the Southern Emperor is an actual king with many bodyguards and soldiers protecting him. Your father is a cultivated intellect, possessing many strange and powerful skills, which can help him face multiple enemies alone. When the old poison fights alone, no one in his generation can completely face him. But if his enemy brings a companion, and so on, then the old poison facing them alone is in a terrible position." "Therefore, the old poison has raised the snakes to help him," Hong Rong said. Hong Qigong sighed. "Hey, us beggars often catch snakes and raise them for the purpose of food," he said. "We've been able to do this for about 17 to 18 snakes. We sometimes even release them into fields at night to catch frogs. But the whole process isn't easy at all. Now the old poison has actually had the time to catch innumerable amounts of snakes. Honger, the old poison has spent a great deal of time on this, which means he must be planning something." "He is certainly planning something," Hong Rong said. "But luckily for us, his nephew revealed the snakes." Hong Qigong slapped his head. "Of course, this Ouyang kid revealed with the secret, with his frivolousness," he said. "But what does the old poison know about what others have? These thousands of snakes could not have come from the western region. They must have been collected from the mountains in the east. And though that Ouyang kid betrayed a part of the plan, he might not have completely revealed the whole scheme in which he plays a part." "That's not a good thing," Hong Rong said. "Luckily, this style prepares us in advance to take care of those snakes when we observed them, as opposed to having to deal with them while fighting with the old poison himself." Hong Qigong hesitated. "But suppose he wraps me up and prevents me from throwing the needles," he said. "How would I deal with those thousands of snakes?" Hong Rong thought for a while. "Just run away," she said. "Bah!" Hong Qigong said with a smile. "What kind of method is turning around and running away?" Suddenly, Hong Rong exclaimed, "I got it! I just thought of a good plan." Joyful, Hong Qigong said, "What kind of plan is this?" "Just keep the two of us by your side," she said. "Should we meet the old poison, you will fight him, and Brother Jing will deal with his nephew. I will simply use the sewing needles to kill all the snakes. The problem is, Brother Jing doesn't know 3 of the strikes in the 18 dragon subduing palms, and might not be able to deal with those grinning bastards." Hong Qigong stared. "You are the grinning bastard," he said. "You just want to cheat me into teaching your brother Jing the last 3 palms. Regarding Guo Jing's moral conduct, I would teach him all 18 palms without any hesitation. But when did this boy become my disciple? He is so dull that if I took him as a disciple, I would be giving people the right to laugh at me." Hong Rong laughed. "I'm going to buy some groceries," she said, knowing that would make it harder for Hong Qigong to leave. Okay. I think it's a good time for a 5-minute break. Be right back. Alright, we're back. Whoops. This is a fun chapter? Yeah. Okay, well, before he leaves, he's gonna have to teach Guo Jing the rest of the 18 moves, right? He's gotta. She went to the market and purchased many different kinds of vegetables and meats while making sure she bought ingredients with sufficiently unique tastes. With the groceries held in her left hand and her right practicing the blossoms rain from the sky technique, she leisurely strolled back to the inn. Suddenly, she heard the sound of a bell loudly approaching. In the distance, she saw a lone female rider dressed in white approaching the inn very quickly. Huang Rong saw it was Yang Tiexin's daughter, Mu Nianzi, whom Guo Jing's relatives wanted him to marry. Huang Rong's heart turned sour, and as Mu Nianzi got closer, she refused to make a sound. What's so good about this girl? She thought. Brother Jing's 6 masters and that ox-nosed priest of the Chen sect all want him to marry her. After more thinking, Huang Rong grew angry. Let me go fight her and relieve some of my frustration, she thought. But when Huang Rong went to place the groceries in the inn, she found Mu Nianzi already sitting at the table. An anxious-looking innkeeper asked Mu Nianzi what she wanted to eat and drink. Bring me a bowl of noodles and some beef, Mu Nianzi said. The innkeeper quickly left to fill out the order. How is simple beef any good to eat? Huang Rong said. Mu Nianzi looked at Huang Rong. At first, she couldn't recognize her, but then she remembered it was the girl who so suddenly left with Guo Jing. She exhaled. Little sister is here too, she said. Please, sit with me. Did that smelly scholar, the fat dwarf, and the other ones come too? Huang Rong said. No, Mu Nianzi said. I came alone. They are all off together. Huang Rong at first feared running into Chu Chu Chi, but she felt joy after learning Mu Nianzi was there by herself. At first, blinded by the possibility of the Taoist's presence, Huang Rong now examined Mu Nianzi closely and noticed her small boots, dress, and her hair entwined with a white flower, signifying that she was in mourning. And though she had lost weight and wore a sad expression, Mu Nianzi remained elegantly beautiful, as opposed to pitiable. Huang Rong then noticed a dagger worn at Mu Nianzi's waist. This is the dagger exchanged by Brother Jing's parents with her parents to mark their marriage, Huang Rong thought. Unable to bear the thought, Huang Rong shouted, Little sister, may I take a look at that dagger? The dagger was indeed the one Bao Shiruo gave away just before dying. It was recovered after she and Yang Tiexin killed themselves and served as a keepsake of the 2 adoptive parents. Mu Nianzi looked at Huang Rong and noticed her strange expression. But before she could do anything, Huang Rong had already reached out, taken hold of the dagger, and casually removed it. She looked at the weapon and noticed the 2 characters, Guo Jing, carved into its hilt. This belongs to Brother Jing, she thought bitterly. Why does she get to have it? She removed the weapon from its scabbard. A cold air immediately emanated from the weapon. Good dagger, Huang Rong said. She put the dagger back into the scabbard and placed it within her shirt. I'm going to give this to Brother Jing, she said. Stricken, Mu Nianzi said, What? The 2 characters engraved on the hilt proves the rightful owner of this dagger, Huang Rong said. I'm going to give it to him. Mu Nianzi cried out angrily. This is the only possession I have from my adoptive parents. How can you take it? Quickly, give it back to me. She stood up and walked towards Huang Rong. If you have a problem, come and get it, Huang Rong shouted as she ran out of the inn. Huang Rong knew Hong Qigong was asleep in the forest, and Guo Jing was up in the mountains practicing his palms. She ran to the left. Mu Nianzi pursued anxiously, fearing Huang Rong would ride the red horse. She continued to chase until she heard a loud noise, which she followed. That's not nice of her. She's taking the dagger like that. Hongrong had taken a bend to a clearing surrounded by tall locust trees. She stopped there and laughed. You've won, she said. You're the better horse. Now let us match against one another to see who gets the bride's dagger. Muniansu's cheeks reddened. Don't joke, little sister, she said. When I see this dagger, I see my adoptive father. Why did you take it away? Hongrong's brow dropped. Who is your sister? She shouted. She immediately jumped at Mu Nianzi with her palm extended. Mu Nianzi tried to dodge, but Hongrong used the falling blossom sword palm, employing the many and mysterious variations in the style. Hongrong hit Mu Nianzi twice in the ribs, causing a lot of pain. Angry, Mu Nianzi turned to the left before also returning her own palm stroke, which was a violent strike. This is the Wandering Stride's fist, Hongrong shouted. How is this possible? Mu Nianzi was surprised upon hearing Hongrong's shout. This was the style Hong Qigong passed on to me alone, she thought. How could she know about it? Mu Nianzi watched as Hongrong retracted her left palm and attacked with her right as a fist. After 3 moves, Mu Nianzi recognized the style to be none other than the Wandering Strides. Surprised, she jumped back. Stop! She shouted. Who taught you this style? I just figured it out myself, Hongrong said with a smile. What's so special about this rough and crude kung fu? So saying, she attacked again with the Wandering Strides, employing its 2 central moves, alms bowl at the door and seeing a benefactor, in a continuous attack. Mu Nianzi became even more bewildered after avoiding another move, traveling the seas without worry. You know Senior Hong Qigong, she said. He and I are old friends, Hongrong said with a smile. You can use this style, I'll use the kung fu I know, and then we'll see who'll win. With a menacing chortle, Hongrong immediately attacked. She did not use the Wandering Strides style. Instead, she employed the martial arts taught to her by her father to get the better of Mu Nianzi, whose skills were taught to her by Hong Qigong. How could Mu Nianzi block? Mu Nianzi tried to flee, but she couldn't. She watched a palm rise like a sword slashing across with a roaring wind. Feeling the spear-like force, Mu Nianzi twisted her body to the side to dodge, but then felt pain in her neck as Hongrong successfully hit her with brushing the orchid blossoms from the road. The palm had struck the neck vertebrae, precisely where the blood vessels regulate the body, hands, and feet. After being hit, Mu Nianzi's hands and feet immediately turned numb and weak. Hongrong then stepped forward and pressed an acupoint on Mu Nianzi's waist. Mu Nianzi immediately fell over. Hongrong took out the dagger and laughed before slashing at Mu Nianzi's cheeks with 10 different strikes. None of them hit. They were only 1 inch away from striking flesh. Mu Nianzi closed her eyes, expecting death, but to her surprise, she felt a cool air near her cheeks that didn't hurt. When she opened her eyes, she only saw the dagger coming towards her eyes, only to see it stop next to her face. If you're going to kill me, she yelled in anger. Why all the play and theatrics? You are not my enemy, nor do I hate you, Hongrong said. Why would I kill you? You just have to swear 1 oath, and I'll release you. Although they were indeed not enemies, Mu Nianzi refused to consider even giving an oath. Lady, you threatened to kill me because you want me to swear an oath, she shouted. You must be dreaming. Hongrong sighed with admiration. Hey, it would be a real pity to kill this beautiful lady of marriageable age, she said. Mu Nianzi closed her eyes and waited for death, but she heard not a sound. After a moment, Hongrong gently said, Brother Jing and I have already shared our hearts. If you proceed to marry him, there is no way he would give you the same. Mu Nianzi opened her eyes. What did you say? She asked. I know you won't promise not to marry him, Hongrong said. Who is it that you like? Mu Nianzu said in confusion. Who is it you think I want to marry? Brother Jing, Guo Jing, Hongrong said. Oh, him, Mu Nianzu said. What do you want me to swear? I want you to swear a heavy oath that you will not marry him, Hongrong said. Mu Nianzu giggled. You put a dagger to my throat when I already cannot marry him, she said. Is it true? Hongrong asked joyfully. How can this be? Although my adoptive father betrothed me to Brother Guojing, honestly, she said before lowering her voice, honestly, adoptive father, despite all his wisdom, neglected to prevent me from giving my heart to someone else. I've made such a bad mistake about you. Now she's all changed. Hongrong said ecstatically before immediately releasing Mu Nianzu's acupoints and massaging her numb hands and feet. Elder sister, who have you matched yourself with? Mu Nianzu blushed before cooing. Now she's elder sister. Mu Nianzu blushed before cooing. You've seen this person before. Hongrong tilted her head and thought for a moment. I've seen him before, she said. What kind of person around this town is worthy of ascending to elder sister's level? Mu Nianzu laughed. In this world, this man is unrivaled by everyone except for your brother Jing, she said. Elder sister, is he crazy since he hasn't married you? Hongrong said with a smile. Is brother Jing crazy? Mu Nianzu said. His character is honest and his heart is chivalrous. I admire him very much. He treated my father and me very well that day when he helped us at the risk of his own life, which I am very grateful for. This great of a man is very small in the world. Worried, Hongrong pressed. Did you say that you couldn't marry him just so that I wouldn't put this dagger against your throat? Mu Nianzu noticed how Hongrong pressed the issue and concluded the imprudence she exhibited before wasn't far off. She grasped Hongrong's hands and slowly spoke. Little sister, your heart is already set on brother Jing. Finding another man his equal will be difficult, even with all the thousands of men in the world, right? Yes, I do believe it's very unlikely to find another his equal, Hongrong said. If brother Jing heard your praises of him, his heart would be filled with joy, Mu Nianzu said. During the contests my father set up in Beijing, a man defeated me. Hongrong understood. I know now, she said. The person in your heart is the little prince, Wen Yankang. Yes, it is the young prince, Mu Nianzu said. He is the one my heart wants. He's a good person underneath. I can make him stop being rotten. Yeah. I can fix him. Hongrong, I can fix him. He's a good person underneath. Yeah, do you guys think so? How good is this person underneath? Though she spoke softly, Mu Nianzu's expression was very firm. Hongrong nodded her head when she suddenly realized she felt the same way about Guo Jing as what Mu Nianzu said in such simple words. They grasped each other's hands and sat side by side below the locust trees with a sensation of shared feelings. Famous last words. Yeah, he's certainly a person underneath. Hongrong thought for a moment. Then she gave the dagger back to Mu Nianzu. Elder sister, let me return this to you, Hongrong said. Mu Nianzu did not take it. Keep it. This is your brother Jing's possession, she said. His name is carved there on the hilt. With it every day, She paused. If I should carry it every day, it wouldn't be very good. Hongrong lovingly took the dagger and stowed it near her bosom. Elder sister, you are truly good, she said. After receiving the valuable dagger, Hongrong was momentarily distracted from her thoughts. Elder sister, what business has drawn you to the south alone? Hongrong asked. Maybe little sister can help you. Mu Nianzi blushed and lowered her head. I don't have any pressing matters at hand, she said. In that case, I will take you to see Master Hong, Hongrong said. Mu Nianzi felt joy. Master Hong is here? She said. Hongrong nodded before grasping Mu Nianzi's hand and pulling her up. Suddenly, she heard a sound among the branches above. A piece of bark fell to the ground. In the distance, they could see one person's shadow jumping happily from locust tree to locust tree. After a while, they could tell it was Hong Chi-gong. Hongrong picked up the bark and saw the characters carved onto its surface with a needle. 2 dolls like this are very good, she read. Wait, this is her reading. 2 dolls like this are very good, she read. But if Rong-er deliberately causes trouble again, then Qigong will hit your eldest child on the ear. The bark was not signed at the bottom. Instead, a gourd was carved in its place. Hongrong knew Qigong carved the bark and couldn't help blushing. She knew Qigong had observed the whole fight and knew all about the particulars of the oath she wanted Mu Nianzi to swear. Both people had entered the locust grove and did not even notice Hong Qigong. The pair walked hand in hand back to the inn. Guojing, who was sitting inside after he finished practicing, was shocked to see Mu Nianzi. He quickly said, Sister Mu, did you see my masters? Your respective masters and I left the capital together and went south to Shandong, she said. We split up there, and I have not seen them since. Are my masters well? Guojing said. Be at ease, brother Guo, Mu Nianzi said with a smile. They are not angry with you. Guojing was indeed very worried, fearing his masters were very angry at him. He rose and fiddled with some tea and food as his simple mind was lost in thought. Mu Nianzi turned to Hongrong and asked how they met Hong Qigong. Hongrong told the tale alone. Little sister, you are so blessed, Mu Nianzi said with a sigh. You spent so much time with Master Hong that you live like a little family. But I only wanted to see him, and he is not here. He was looking after you, Hongrong said, comfortingly. He would have revealed his true ability if I tried to injure you. If I had hurt you, how could he not have acted? Mu Nianzi nodded in acceptance. Guojing thought this was strange. Rong-er, why would you want to injure Sister Mu? He asked. I cannot say, Hongrong said quickly. Mu Nianzi smiled. She feared I would, she said without finishing. Although she spoke of the matter, she felt shy about the subject. Hongrong reached out and tickled Mu Nianzi's armpit. You dare speak of it? Hongrong said with a smile. Mu Nianzi stuck her tongue out and shook her head. How would I dare? She said. Don't you want me to swear an oath? Hongrong spluttered as she recalled trying to force Mu Nianzi into swearing not to marry Guojing. Both her cheeks turned a bright red. Upon seeing their shared emotions, Guojing felt great happiness. After eating, the three went into the middle of the forest and strolled as they idled away their day. Hongrong asked Mu Nianzi how she received instructions from Hong Qigong. Yeah. Good question. How did she come to be taught by him? It happened when I was very young, Mu Nianzi said. I followed father to a river in the Hunan province. We stopped at an inn, and while I played at the entrance, I saw 2 beggars lying on the ground, bleeding profusely. No one was willing to help them because the sight of the beggars' internal organs disgusted them. Hongrong made the connection. Oh, so you showed compassion, she said. You tended their injuries. I too could not do much for their injury, Mu Nianzi said, but I pitied them and took them to father's room, where I cleaned their wounds and bandaged them. When my father returned, he said I did the right thing, and then sighed and said how his former wife was kind-hearted as well. Then my father gave the 2 beggars some money to help them with their injuries. They thanked him and left. After several months, we went to Xinyang, where we ran into those two beggars again, who had already recovered from their wounds. They took me to a temple where I first met Hong Qigong. After praising me, he taught me the Wandering Strides form, which took 3 days. On the 4th day, when I returned to the temple, the master had already gone. Huang Rong said, Master Qigong doesn't allow us to teach his skills to others, but if you, my sister, would like to learn my father's skills, I could spend the next few days teaching you some of them. When she found out that Mu Nianzi did not want to marry Guo Jing, a burden was lifted from her heart, and she felt that she was a really nice person, so she wanted to make her a gift. Mu Nianzi said, Many thanks, but at present I have some urgent matter to attend to. In the future, I would ask you even without you suggesting it. Huang Rong wanted to ask her what it was, but one look at her face, and Huang Rong knew she did not want to talk about it, and thought, from her shyness, it seems she's made up her mind. If she doesn't want to mention it, it's all right. Mu Nianzi left the inn around noon in a hurry and only returned after dusk. Huang Rong noticed a joyful expression on her face, but pretended that she paid no attention. After their meal, the two ladies retired, and Huang Rong saw her cheek resting on her palm, and her heart seemed full of emotions, so she pretended to sleep. After a while, she saw her reach into her bundle and took out something, kissed it lightly, and looked at it fondly. Huang Rong looked over her back and saw that it was a piece of finely embroidered handkerchief. Suddenly, Mu Nianzi jerked around and the handkerchief fluttered. Huang Rong was shocked and immediately shut her eyes while her heart pounded. She only heard the slight breeze in the room and carefully lifted her eyelid. She saw Mu Nianzi pacing around the room, executing moves randomly. She said to herself, Hey, that's the handkerchief she snatched from that young prince during their sparring match the other day. She saw Mu Nianzi smiling to herself and felt that she was reminiscing of that day's events as she was imitating Wen Yankang's movements and actions. She did that for some time before walking near her bedside. Huang Rong closed her eyes tightly as she knew that Mu Nianzi must have been looking in her direction. After a brief moment, she sighed. Hi, you're really beautiful. She suddenly turned around and opened the door and walked out. Huang Rong became curious and gave pursuit, then utilized her Qinggong to follow her. Her Qinggong was better than Mu Nianzi's, but she kept her distance behind to evade detection. She saw her jump onto a roof and glance around. Mu Nianzi then jumped to a larger building on the south. Huang Rong had been visiting the place daily to buy groceries and knew that this was a rich man's house, so she thought, most likely she'd run out of money, so she came here to get some. Huang Rong saw that the door was brightly painted, and there were 2 large lanterns suspended at the door, inscribed with the words, The Great Jin Kingdom's Envoy, and there were 4 Jin soldiers guarding the door. She had passed this door numerous times, but she had never seen this before, so she thought, She wants to rob the Great Jin's bounty. That's great. After she's done, I can also help myself. She then followed Mu Nianzi to the back courtyard and saw her hide around at every corner, so she followed suit. They saw the candlelight coming from the kitchen, and there was a man's shadow there pacing about the room. Mu Nianzi cautiously walked over and gazed at this shadow. After some time, the shadow was still pacing around, while Mu Nianzi was staring at him motionlessly. Huang Rong became impatient and thought, Sister Mu is hesitating. Why doesn't she just barge in and immobilize him? She went around the other side and thought, I'll help her by immobilizing him and hiding in one corner to surprise him. Just as she was about to enter through a window, she suddenly heard the door open and a man went in, saying, Reporting, sir! The Southern Imperial Court will send a special envoy here the day after tomorrow. The man nodded and the messenger left. Huang Rong thought, so the guy inside is a Jin nobleman. Sister Mu must have some good reason for coming here, and not for burglary. I shouldn't interfere. She dipped her finger in her mouth and poked a hole in the window panel and peeped in. She was surprised. It was none other than the young prince Wen Yan Kang. In his hand was some black object, and when illuminated by the candlelight, Huang Rong saw that it was a head of a rusty spear. Huang Rong did not know that this spear was his father Yang Tiexin's property, and only felt that it had something to do with Mu Nianzi, so she laughed to herself. The two of you are really acting in concert. Don't tell me that you're really inseparable. She uncontrollably let out a laugh. Wen Yan Kang was startled and quickly extinguished the candle, exclaiming, Who's that? Huang Rong took this chance to sneak behind Mu Nianzi and swiftly sealed her acupoints, rendering her immobilized. Huang Rong laughed. Don't be afraid. I'm just letting you meet your sweetheart. Wen Yan Kang opened the door and was about to run out when he heard a girl giggling. Your sweetheart is here. Catch. What? Wen Yan Kang exclaimed. What? A body landed in his arms, and the girl who spoke was swiftly over the wall, laughing. Sister, how can you thank me? As the laughing faded, the girl in his arms struggled to get down. Okay. Yeah. Did you guys expect that? Wen Yan Kang was shocked beyond words and immediately stepped back, asking, Who is this? Mu Nianzi said softly, Do you still remember me? He felt her voice was familiar and stammered, You're Miss Mu? She replied, Yes. He asked, Who came with you? She said, It was a mischievous friend. I didn't know she followed me. Mu Nianzi better not die here. Uh-huh. What if she does? He stepped in and relit the candle, saying, Come in. Mu Nianzi bowed her head and entered, sitting on a chair silently, but with a deafening heartbeat. Wen Yan Kang saw that she was blushing profusely. He said soothingly, Why are you here to find me at this time? She did not reply. He thought of his parents' deaths and said softly, Since your father is dead, you can stay with me, and I will regard you as my sister. Mu Nianzi replied, He's my foster father. Please, he's not my real father. You gotta believe me. Wen Yan Kang was surprised and thought, She's telling me we're not related by blood. He took her hand in his and smiled. Mu Nianzi's face reddened drastically, and her head bowed lower. Wen Yan Kang's heart was on fire, and he hugged her, whispering into her ear, This is the third time I'm hugging you. The first was during our sparring match. The second was just outside. And now there's no one else around. Mu Nianzi said, and felt extremely sweet inside, which happened for the first time in her life. Wen Yan Kang smelled her fragrance and felt her slender body and decided that it was all surreal. After a while, he asked, How did you find me? Mu Nianzi said, I'd been following you. Every night I stare at your shadow, but I didn't dare. That's kind of creepy. Wen Yan Kang realized that her feelings were deep and was very touched, so he kissed her forehead. In the heat of passion, he hugged her tightly and kissed her for a long time. Mu Nianzi whispered, I'm an orphan. Don't abandon me. Wen Yan Kang embraced her and stroked her hair, saying, Don't worry. You'll always be mine, and I'll always be yours, okay? Mu Nianzi felt great joy in her heart and looked into Wen Yan Kang's eyes and nodded. Wen Yan Kang saw that she was blushing profusely and did not care anymore. He blew out the candle flame and carried her to the bed and tried to undress her. Mu Nianzi was somewhat intoxicated, but when he touched her, she hastily pushed him away and said, "No, I can't do this." Wen Yankang hugged her and said, "I will definitely marry you. If my heart changes, I shall die a horrible death." She placed her hand over his mouth and said, "Okay, I believe you." He then said, "Then allow me." She pleaded, "No, no." So this escalated quickly. Yeah. You guys didn't know this was going to happen, did you? Wen Yankang was really aroused and tried to undo her clothes. She struck out with half her maximum force. Wen Yankang did not expect her to use her martial arts at this moment, and he was shoved away. Mu Niansu jumped down and snatched the spearhead and pointed it towards herself, saying, "If you force me, I shall die in front of you." Wen Yankang's passion immediately turned to ice and said, "All right, let's talk about this. Don't do that." Mu Niansu said, "Though I'm a poor girl who wanders through Jianghu, I have my dignity and self-respect. If you truly love me, please respect me. I have no other wish in life but to be with you. In the future, if I marry you, I'd, of course, obey you. But today, if you try to violate me, I'd rather die." Though she said this softly, she never hesitated. He silently admired and respected her, saying, "Don't be angry, it's my fault." He got off the bed and relit the candle. Mu Nianzu heard that he knew his mistake and said, "I'll wait for you at my foster father's home in the Ox family village. You can send the matchmaker any time." She paused and said, "If you never show up, I'll just wait for you my whole life." Wen Yankang was really touched and quickly said, "Don't worry. When my official business is complete, I'll come immediately." He almost did. "In this life, I shall never change my mind." Mu Nianzu smiled shyly and left. Wen Yankang shouted, "Don't leave. Let's chat for a while more." Mu Nianzu waved and left. Wen Yankang stood there and stared at her departing shadow and felt like it was but a dream. She did leave a few strands of hair behind during their struggle, which he placed in his pouch. Okay. When he first sparred with her, he did not think much about it, but he did not expect her to follow him here and stare at his shadow every night, and yet she severely cherished her chastity, deeply earning his respect. He smiled and sighed. Okay. All right. It got a little hot and heavy there, a little bit. But luckily, Mu Nianzu was a respectable woman, okay? She stopped that real quick. All right. How did you guys like that chapter? Pretty good. Especially the last part. Huh. Since when does this guy respect anyone? Well, looks like he respects her. Yeah, I think they're gonna make a great happy couple, guys. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Okay, the beginnings of a great relationship. Almost lost it. I felt myself laughing. I was like, stop. If I start laughing, I can't stop. What a confusing guy. Yeah. What do you guys think? How long are they going to stay together? What's going to happen to their relationship? Forever? Yeah. They're soulmates. It's meant to be. All right. Got some sake here. Cheers. Forever and they will be miserable. One will die? Ah, you think so, huh? Rude noise. All right. That was fun. All right. I'll try to figure out how to do the chat GPT thing. But you know what? Moon Mojo Jojo came through for us. Okay. Yeah, he wasn't bad today. I'll give him that. Good job. This took such a sharp turn that I'll believe it. Yeah. Alright, guys. Well, I hope you liked the chapter. Alright. Tune in next time to see the relationship between these two. Mojo Jojo was scrambling to keep us in the beginning, but suddenly redeemed himself with the correct chapter. Yeah. Alright, guys. Thanks for joining. Alright. I love you. I will see you next time. Alright. Bye.